Sir, good evening. Sir, Principal Garu, Dr. Srinivas Babu Garu.
Doctor, good evening, Vishwanath Garu.
Yeah, I think you can hear me.
Yeah.
Our Principal Garu, he is in line, but ఆయన voice రావట్లేదు.
Okay.
Sir, Dr. Jitendra Garu, are you there?
Yes, sir, I'm there.
Dr. Jitendra Garu?
I'm here.
Oh, okay, thank you. Dr. Y. Srinivas Garu? Dr. Y. Srinivas Garu? Sir, good evening, one and all. I think, sir, Srinivas Babu Garu, sir. Srinivas Babu, sir. Are you here, sir?
Vishwanath sir, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Principal Garu voice రావట్లేదు.
సార్ మళ్ళీ రీకనెక్ట్ అవ్వాలనుకోండి సార్.
అదే మరి ఒకసారి సారిగా ఏమైనా కాల్ చేసి చెప్తావా లేదంటే?
ఓకే సార్.
Good evening, sir. Hello, good evening, sir.
అప్పు చేసి అంత ఎందుకు చేపిస్తుడు వదిలేదాము పెళ్ళ రోజులు పోసిన కాడ
మిస్టర్ యలమంద
పుష్కము అది పోసుకున్నాం. నేను గుర్తుపట్టపోదు కానీ డ్రెస్
మిస్టర్ యలమంద
సార్ సార్ గుడ్ ఈవినింగ్ సార్, చెప్పండి సార్. విశ్వనాథ్ సార్.
హలో
సార్
ప్రిన్సిపల్ సార్కి కాల్ చేసావా?
మాట్లాడాను సార్, కనెక్ట్ అవ్వట్లేదు.
హలో హలో, నేను లైన్ లోనే ఉన్నానండి.
ఓకే సార్. సార్
Ah,
సారీ
sir.
దేర్ సార్.
Okay, thank you.
ఓకే సార్.
Sir, shall we start the event, sir?
We will start because the time is will be delayed. No, we will start.
Okay.
Okay, sir. I hope they will join.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. We will start the event. Good evening, one and all. I, A. Vishwanath, Associate Professor and Dean Training and Placement Officer, on behalf of our Honorable Chairman, Dr. Lavu Ratay Garu, and our Vice Chairman, Sri Krishna Devarayal Garu, we welcome you all to the national webinar on research updates on herbal and traditional Indian medicine, future scope for drug target identification. This was been organized by a group of institutions, pharmacy departments, namely Department of Pharmacy, Vigyan Foundation for Science, Technology and Research, Guntur, and Vigyan Pharmacy College, Vatlamudi, Guntur, Vigyan Institute of Pharmaceutical Technology, Visakhapatnam, and Vigyan Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Hyderabad. And this series of webinars, we are proud to say that this series of webinars are collective work of all the group of pharmacy group among our Vigyan colleges. Now, I invite our beloved principal, Dr. P. Srinivas Babu Garu, to address the gathering and to greet our today's chief guest, Professor Vaidya D. Shekhar, Dr. Shekhar Annambotla Garu.
Thank you, Vishwanath Garu. Good evening to all the participants and our today's renowned speaker, Professor Vaidya Dr. Shekhar Annambotla Garu. I, Dr. Srinivas Babu, Principal of Vigyan Pharmacy College, Vadlamudi, invite our today's renowned speaker, Dr. Shekhar Annambotla, on behalf of all Vigyan Group of institutions for today's national webinar on research updates on herbal and traditional Indian medicine, future scope for drug target identification, which is need of the hour for current situation. So this is one of the important topic was given by our renowned speaker, because sir, I interacted with Shekhar Annambotla sir for the last, I hope within last 2 years back. Sir have vast knowledge on the medicinal plants, and by seeing his resume, so which we very fond of it, and I'm on behalf of all our institutions and our management, we are very thankful to you, sir, for sparing your valuable time with us. So we feel it as a great honor and privilege for today's national webinar as a speaker, and for accepting our invitation and sparing your valuable time. So as all of us know that Indian system of medicines, this is the traditional system of medicine in India, functions through two major streams. One is the local health tradition, and the other one is classical scientific system of medicine. So local healthcare system are millions of people who cure diseases at home as a birth attendant, and generally the practitioners like a small snake bite treatments, jaundice, etc. But whereas the classical scientific system of medicine has evolved with the philosophical explanation, and it is expressed in various manuscripts. So such system of medicine exists in the name of Ayurveda, Unani, Siddha, Tibetan. So the Ayurvedic system of medicine is an age-old system of therapy, which is associated with the Vedic cultivation in India, and also it is around 4,500 to 1600 BC system, and it have a lot of things like Ayurveda is conceived as the union of body like senses, mind and soul. So which is a very old age, and which helps a lot of cures in the medicine, but this is coming into the existence because we now, as Shekhar sir will update the importance, how these research updates are there, especially on the herbal and traditional Indian medicine, and feature all the participants who are today, because most of the major of the participants are teachers, students, and other states from the different states. They are also joined for today's webinar. So it is very great for seeing the profile of our renowned speaker. So I would like to congratulate and I welcome the today's speaker for this program. So thank you, and I hand over to the Vishwanath.
Sir, could
Thank you,
you?
sir. Thank you, sir. Now I invite Dr. P.V. Kamal Kumari Garu, Professor, Vignan Institute of Pharmaceutical Technology, Visakhapatnam, to read out the profile of our today's speaker, Professor Dr. Shekhar Annambotla. Please, ma'am.
Yes, sir. Could you share the screen, sir, please?
Yeah, 1 minute. Yelmanda Garu, please. Yelmandeswara Garu.
Madam.
Good
Okay.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, madam.
Next slide, sir. Good evening, all. Welcome to the webinar on research updates on herbal and traditional Indian medicine, future scope for drug target identification by Professor Vaidya Dr. Shekhar Annambotla. It's my privilege to introduce today's renowned speaker, Dr. Shekhar Annambotla. Dr. Shekhar Annambotla is an Ayurvedic and Panchakarma specialist, licensed integrative massage therapist, yoga instructor, pranic healer, Reiki healer, classically trained in India, practicing and teaching Ayurveda worldwide since 1988, traveled across 30 countries, consulted more than 28,000 clients, performed 9,900 abhyangas, performed 700 panchakarma therapies, performed 3,000 shirodharas, performed 600 katibasti, taught 63 times Ayurvedic pulse technique course, and 33 times Marma therapy course. Dr. Shekhar has also taught introductory lectures on Ayurveda at University of Pennsylvania Medical School, Jefferson Medical College, Hershey Medical College, University of Medicine and Dentistry, Doggin Medical Society, St. Luke's School of Nursing, Penn State College, Lehigh Carbon Community College, University of Penn Nursing School. Dr. Shekhar Annambotla pursued his BA-MS from the year 1982 to 1988 at Nagarjuna University, Andhra Pradesh. And he has pursued his MD from the year 1988 to 1991 from Gujarat Ayurveda University with a specialization of Kaya Chikitsa and a dissertation, clinical study of Devadaru compound in Tamakswasha. His professional summary includes presently Dr. Vaidya Shekhar Annambotla Garu is working as a founder and director of OJAS and a founding director and president of Association of Ayurvedic Professionals of North America, founder and director of Global Ayurveda Conferences, founder and director of Dosha Botanicals, founder and medical director of International Institute of Integrative Medicine, and also editorial board member of Ayurveda Health Journal, and also presently working as a faculty member in the Mount Madonna Institute. Dr. Shekhar is a professional member of Association of Ayurvedic Professionals of North America, National Ayurvedic Medical Association, American Massage Therapists Association, American Association of Integrative Medicine, American Alternative Medical Association, American Association of Drugless Practitioners, American Holistic Health Association, and many more. His publications include Panchakarma Diet and Regimen, Insights on Gugulu, and an experimental and clinical evaluation of anti-asthmatic potentialities of Devadaru compound. His book reviews include Contemporary Ayurveda, Medicine and Research in Maharishi Ayurveda, and The Divine Secrets of Life. He has been awarded with so many honors, and they include Certificate of Honor from Sri Dharmasthala Manjunatha Ayurvedic College, Ayurveda Vishwakarma Award in the year 2017, Bharadwaja Award from Telangana Ayurvedic Doctors Association in the year 2016, Dhanvantari Award from Suraksha Vijayawada, Andhra Pradesh in the year 2016, Global Ambassador of Ayurveda from the Bharat Seva Sansthan, Lucknow, 2016, MTC Global Award Excellence, Outstanding Corporate Award in the year 2015, Ayurveda Wellness Center, Cooperscourt Award, 2015, Appreciation Art Group of Companies in the year 2014, Vishwa Ayurveda Ratna from the Bharat Seva Sansthan in the year 2014, Ayurveda Khandantara Sthapanacharya Award from Hyderabad in 2013, International Ayurveda Pragati Award in 2013, Sur Sanjeevan Music Therapy Forum Award in the year 2012, and Tathagat International Excellent Award in the year 2011. With this brief introduction, I, on behalf of Vignan Group of Institutions, hearty welcome Dr. Shekhar Annabathula Garu to start over the session. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon to everyone, and good evening, and also some of my friends who are in the United States and other parts of the world who are participating in this wonderful event on the webinar on the herbal medicine and integrative medicine. I'm audible? Am
Yes,
I
sir.
audible? Yes.
Sir.
Yeah. I'm going to share my screen. Thank you one and all for the inviting me for this research update on the herbal medicine and herbal and the traditional Indian system of medicine, which is organized by the Vignan Institute, a group of pharmaceutical colleges and institutions. And thank you to all the deans and professors and faculty members and the students who are participating in this webinar. So this is my description explained earlier, introduced about me. So in disclaimer, the information provided in this webinar is exclusively for the education purpose only, not to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any specific disease. We are not endorsing any product or education institute or health professional. There is no conflict of interest. These are the associations and affiliations with the various institutions around the globe. So now, present situation, how to bring the Indian system of medicine, particularly Ayurveda and other systems of medicine, and formulations, global acceptance. It is not necessary that Ayurveda is pertained to only India. Now, the global platform is open for us, and globalization of Ayurveda is getting popularity. Now, because of internet, all the facilities are available. We need to work on that, getting of globalization of Ayurvedic system of medicine, Indian systems of medicine. Like every country having its own traditional systems of medicines are there, like a Chinese system having Chinese medicine, Japanese medicine, various systems of medicines are there for their own countries. Now we are proud to say that our Indian system, particularly Ayurveda and Siddha medicine, yoga, all the philosophies are there, but we need to have research is required and to establish to the world how important is there and how to bring Indian system of medicine global platform and how to bring the Indian system of medicine global acceptance. These are the things we need to work on that. And now, as we look into that, complement and alternative medicine. What is complementary and alternative medicine? If you look into that, Indian system of medicine, particularly Ayurveda, Siddha, Yoga, all the systems of medicine are original Indian systems of medicines. Western medicine, as you know, everybody knows that allopathy system of medicine, Western medicine, conventional medicine, considered as a Western system of medicine. And then you go to the alternative systems of medicine. In India also, we are practicing certain types of medicines, particularly Unani, Tibetan medicine, homeopathy, and acupuncture, and acupressure. Various systems of medicines are there as an alternative systems of medicine which are practicing in India. If you look into that, first, in 19th century, in the modern drugs began in 1805. The first pharmacologically active compound, morphine, was isolated by the young German pharmacist Frederick from the opium plant. Now from there, we are able to successfully do all the ultra modern surgeries and the technologies, and we are able to do it because the opium plant is identified from the plant origin, which is a natural medicine plant. From there, alkaloids are extracted. From there, we are able to create very similar like that and very effective, very profound, successfully we are able to do surgical procedures and everything. The merits in the Ayurvedic formulations. So we will look into that here. These Ayurvedic systems of medicine are Indian system of medicine, which we are calling as a natural. These are the natural resources are there. Time tested. There are since millennia, people are practicing and adopting the systems of medicine, and which has in the folk medicine, Dr. Srinivas Babu Garu has explained that these systems or medicines are accepted in the worldwide, and also it's practicing in their own regions and flora. So, and also these medicines are easily available, affordable, and that means in the nature it is available, and we can use it. Mostly developed system of medicine in India. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah.
Mr. Almanda, please unmute all. It will be disturbance to speaker, please. Please, doctor, you can proceed.
Yeah. Demerits of Indian system of medicine. These are the flaws we have to look into that. Always, we are always saying that
Dr. Shekhar, your voice is not audible. I think you have muted yourself. Unmuted you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Can
please.
you hear?
Yeah,
Can you
please.
hear?
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Now, we are always looking into such a way that we have a Western Indian system of medicine is great and everything. We talk about history and stories about that. But here we need to practicality. We have to look into that what are the demerits are there and what are the flaws are there. How to rectify them. Then only we can grow further. So for that, I have brought up some points here. Lack of proper larger scientific data. So if you look into any history, any studies are done, maybe they have studied that a case study was done, only one case, or maybe 10 cases, or 15 cases, or 100 cases. Not beyond that, there's a large number of scale study was not done. That is a big flaw for us. That way we cannot rectify, we cannot identify what is going on in our research studies. Lack of stringent drug standardization. This is also another flaw is that in our system that we are not able to follow the standardization of the drugs and everything. Lack of proper documentation. There's another problem that we are not able to document and peer-reviewed journals, and we are able to not publish. Indian system of medicine. Lack of drug and herb interactions. So we are not identifying that what is the interaction is happening between the drugs and modern drugs and as well as Ayurvedic medicines or Indian system of medicine or herbal medicine having any interaction is happening that we have to identify it. Not able to explain scientifically pharmacokinetic action. There's a lot of herbs and medicines are there. For example, now we are talking about Krishnapatnam medicine. Krishnapatnam, which is Nellore, the COVID and the folk medicine, which is Natu Vaidyam or whatever the things they are calling as. But this having medicines are there, but these medicines having not proper scientific pharmacokinetic action, how it is happening there. For example, eye drops which are giving and some of the medicines they are giving, how these eye drops are helpful for that patients. And that is the reason we are not able to identify them properly. And we have to explain clearly that scientific data has to be documented. Lack of modernization of pharmaceuticals. There's a lot of companies, Ayurvedic medicines are manufacturing in the small sheds and everything. There is no stringent regulation is not happening there. We need to have a modernized, more cleanliness and everything has to be maintained. And not able to identify much side effects. There are plenty of side effects of medications are there, Ayurvedic medicines, but we are not identifying. We are always calling it a safe. So how we have to look into that, that's also a very important factor to show them that if they truly explain that what is exactly happening in our pharmacological action and everything. And also not able to research on the larger number of patients and everything. And this is the exactly what we needed to do. Next is that. Let me go. So this is the ideas I'm giving to you, all of you, being I'm so glad that pharmacy college is working with this way of how to implement this Indian system of medicine to development these things. So Ayurvedic formulation should be made easily absorbable in gut flora. Lot of medicines which we are giving the people, they are giving the whether they are not able to excrete properly, means they are not absorbed properly in the system, and they may be excreted through the urine or fecal matter or sweat or any other or breast milk or any other things. That's the thing we need to look into, that how it is absorbed in the system, how the pharmacokinetic action is happening, blood-brain barrier, and herbal vaccines. We are always looking for the vaccinations like that everywhere, and why can't we create our own herbal vaccinations, which is having recently the studies was showing that ashwagandha, Withania somnifera having a very good this antiviral qualities and everything. That why can't we create some herbal vaccination therapies which is having some results, 30%, 40%, 50% results is there. That's great. We can have a herbal vaccination which is easily absorbable in the system. Injectables, we are not able to get the proper injectable Ayurvedic formulations like intramuscular, intrathecal, intravenous, and medications like that can be easily absorbable through the skin. There are so many medications which can be absorbed through the skin, and we are using traditionally a lot of oils, herbalized oils and preparations to absorb into the system. But why can't we make how it is acting on the physiology and how it can be absorbed in the system? Sublingual preparations, there's plenty of sublingual preparations can be prepared, and it will be aerosol sprays, which is particularly bronchial asthma, respiratory condition, COPD, chronic obstructive pulmonary disorders. There's a lot of medications can be given. Even the cardio angina conditions, there are certain medications can be developed through modern pharmaceuticals. Recent studies, recent update on the President Barack Obama, was a past president, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi in their India-US joint statement, January 2015, pledged to encourage dialogue between the United States and India on traditional medicine. So this is the started point from this point, and it is started to have a dialogue, and this is the only politically it is happening there, but it's not practically, it is not happening. We need to make sure that as a civilian, we need to make sure that this research studies continue. So there was a pilot study was done, and metal-based formulations and Ayurvedic formulations to cure acute promyelocytic leukemia was prepared by Vaidya Balendu Prakash. This research foundation Dehradun has studied, and that has shown some scientific data and some clinical study, but large number of clinical study is required and more documentation required, and standardization of the drug also important like that. This is the studies are done. It's not continued for the largest studies, largest group of people. And there's Dr. Deepa M.Pharm PhD, Vice Principal, College of the Pharmacy, Chennai, discusses Siddha interventions derived from the aqueous extract of the two plants showed anti-cancer properties of the preclinical studies. This has to be further carried out, further studies has to be done, how it is effective in the various conditions. Next. There is also critical need of the development of the guidelines and standard of the operating procedures, ensuring the product integrity, standardization, stability, including understanding the biology, molecular targets, safety, and indications of use of Ayush products. This is the thing, is the biggest thing is important for us, modern, with looking into the ancient system in the modern eye. This is the thing is very important in the ultra modern studies. We have to do it. Then only we can develop the modern system of medicine, popularization, globalization of Ayurveda can be bring it. There's also, we need to have a clinical scientific rigor and safety and efficacy of the clinical studies. This is the thing also very important. A lot of people in the villages, when they're practicing Ayurvedic medicine and Ayurvedic medicines, there's a lot of drug and herb interactions are there, and drugs having a lot of Ayurvedic herbal drugs also having side effects are there. Hepatotoxicity level studies are there, and also heavy metal content and everything is there. That is the reason we are having some problems are facing in the Indian systems of medicine. We need to identify them. What is the toxic levels? What is the how long we have to take it? These all the practical studies has to be done more, and Ayush, Department of Ayush, closely work with the pharmaceutical colleges and pharmaceutical institutions and pharmacists to develop the drug interactions, drug and availability, bioavailability, and everything. They have to look into that. And also, mechanism should be established how the traditional system of medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, or Indian system of medicine, how it works, and also how the mechanism of action is taking place, and also publish in the peer-reviewed journals. This is the thing is very important, not publishing in the newspaper articles or television news, and that's not important for us. That is for general public awareness. That is not a scientific data. It will not hold into that situation. We need to have publications of the peer-reviewed journals are very, very important. Then establish the guidelines and standards for the product integrity and terminology of rigor and productivity, SOPs, proper SOPs, validations, batch to batch consistency. This is the biggest problem flaw in this Ayurvedic system of medicine, that every batch and product is different. That is the reason we have a drug consistency. The results are not consistent. All the problems are coming. Preclinical studies and clinical studies has to be done properly and rigorously. Build. This is another important thing, centralized global good manufacturing practice laboratories. There's a number of good manufacturing laboratories has to be established. Every drug has to be, every Ayurvedic drug has to be stringently tested properly and released to the market properly. Clinical studies, peer-reviewed journals, and everything has to be published. Then only it can be very successfully done global platform. Established regulatory structure and consistency standards of the research and compliance, and articulate and publish findings of studies conducted using the rigorous scientific methodology. This is the biggest issue, is that we have to having a conversation with the various contemporary systems of healings like that of Ayurvedic colleges and hospitals, with the various colleges and institutions as well as pharmaceutical institutions, pharmaceutical colleges, and everything. That way we can bring it up proper understanding, proper language, same language we are talking, same lingo we are talking. That is the thing is very important. Just we are holding these things, Sanskrit slokas and everything. That is good. Later research is there, but one way I identify them properly and bring them together and identify and work on that. Then we have to give proper understanding what we are talking, Ayurvedic doctors what they are talking, Ayurvedic researchers what they are talking. Same, they're able to pharmaceutical colleges, institutions, and everything, they're able to understand each other. Then only it will be a very effective way of bringing of globalization of Ayurveda and Indian systems of medicine. As I mentioned that the Bhasmas is a nanotechnology, which is a nano size of 25 to 50 nm. Particles are there. Bhasmas are highly used in ancient system of medicine, like Abhrag Bhasma, mica, and gold, silver, copper. Lot of heavy metal contents are there. They used Siddhanagarjuna is from in this our Nagarjuna area. Nagarjuna University is there, and there Siddhanagarjuna has developed this Rasa Shastra, that is Bhasma alchemic medicines created, and how in the ancient time the technology, how this absorption and everything, we need to look into that. Nanotechnology has to be used, and proper identification, proper absorption and everything is there. That is a very efficacious in the conditions of leukemia, cancer, various conditions like that, and the chronic obstinate skin diseases and various conditions can be given. The bhasma preparations, particularly metallic preparations, can be very effective. It has to be nanotechnology department has to be developed completely, exclusively department that in collaboration with the pharmaceutical colleges and pharmacy institutions to do animal studies, toxic studies, and done properly, then it can be released into the market. So there are so many, as you know, all of you, that professors, you know, that drug, when the development is happening, several routes is given. In the ancient time also, they have given this various medication through various parts of the things, even the sublingually, nasally, Otic way, and in the optic way, like that, in the eyes and skin, and vaginally, and various ways they're giving the administration of the drugs. So, for example, take the mouth, orally we are giving medicine. Injectables has to be developed, intramuscular, intrathecal, and subcutaneous, transdermal, and sublingual, and rectally and vaginally. There are medications has to be prepared, Ayurvedic medicines, but by giving and also not only giving the administration of the medicine, but it has to be properly absorption is happening there, how long it takes absorption, blood-brain barrier it is happening or not, and how much is excreted, how the toxicity effects are there. All the factors has to be taken into the consideration. Then only it has to be drug development is properly done. Of course, ocular route and Otic routes, nasal administration. Now there's a lot of medications in the ancient time, which is Nasya therapy. Nasya therapy, where the 600 varieties of herbalized oils are administered to the nostrils. So, but where is the research was going on there? We have no proper documentation of how it is working on this, how this nasal medicine going through the brain and how it is interacting with these things. That has to be there. And there are some aerosol sprays with the nebulizations. We have tried working on the Myristica negi, and which is in Jaifal and Japatri, those type of things, which are aromatic herbs. Those things and can be used as nebulizers for the people who are having an asthmatic attack, acute asthmatic attacks, those type of conditions, which can be given in a natural herbalized supportive like their system, and less side effects. There are side effects are there. I agree with that. Every system of medicine, every medicine having side effects are there. Even the ginger, if you are taking simple ginger, turmeric having side effects are there. If it is not taken appropriate quantities, can be. I have seen the people who are patients in America, they have taken the cinnamon powder. They have blisters in their mouth. Only cinnamon touch. So that means there is cinnamon oil, cinnamon xylanica oil, which is having counter irritant on the mucosa of the stomach, in the mouth. So that can create these problems like that. We have to identify the people and drugs, how they are affecting on the various body parts of the body, and how the various tissues and everything has to be done. And subcutaneous, there are thousands of oils. If you come from the Kerala to Punjab, Himachal Pradesh, there's a plenty of varieties of oils are prepared. These oils are rubbed into the body and absorbed into the system. And how these medicines are working, how their efficacy is there, how the absorption is taking place, and everything, we are not able to completely understand, identify it, and efficacy we are not able to show the results. That's the thing is very important. Transdermal. There's a lot of studies are done on the transdermal, like a lot of European countries, in Germany and Austria and Switzerland, all the areas. Aromatherapy, particularly administration of herbalized and aroma oils administration on the skin level, and transdermally, it's having a very good efficacious medicines are developed. Of course, oral drugs, which I explained to you earlier, and injectables, which are intramuscular, subcutaneous, intravenous, intrathecal. and some of the medications can go through the spinal cord and can absorb into the system, into the brain. And particularly these conditions, particularly we can prepare the medications, particularly people who are having Parkinson's and multiple sclerosis, brain conditions like that, and Alzheimer disease, and even epilepsy and various conditions can be going to the directly into the intrathecally and go and administer there, and it has some changes are there. There's a lot of studies can be, scope is there. Bacopa monnieri and ashwagandha, and those are the plants having a very good efficaciousness is there, but we need to do more stringent research studies are to be done. Subcutaneous, which I explained to you, injectables, and there's a lot of birth control pills. Ayurvedic herbal are Indian system of medicine. Herbal birth control pills. Where is this thing? There's plenty of plants which is explained about that. There's, for example, gunja, Abrus precatorius, and neem, Azadirachta indica, and there are the various herbs, Nerium odorum, Caravira. These are the plants which are having poisonous plants, but at the same time they have also spermicidal qualities, and birth control pills are the quality is there. Why can't we prepare this type of medications and drugs like that in the Ayurvedic system of medicine? And intramuscular conditions also is good conditions, like a lot of medications, medicated oils are there. For example, Dhanvantaram Thailam, how it is absorbed in the system. Kottanchukka Thailam, various Thailams are there, oils are there, preparations are there. Why we are not able to develop this? This is the research we needed. Research updates are very, very important, and modernization, looking into the ancient system of medicine with the modern eye. That is the thing, exactly what I mean to say. So intravenous administration. None of the Ayurvedic medicines are developed intravenously. Now they tried on the allium cepa, allium sativum, those type of drugs which are given in a form of intravenously, but there is no further clinical studies are not done. Further studies are not, animal studies are not done, how it is effective and everything. Why can't we develop this type of medications like that? This is the modernization in the Ayurveda. Intrathecal, local anesthetics. So if you look into that, Sushruta is the father of surgery. How he is able to perform the surgeries in the ancient time, rhinoplasty, and a lot of surgical procedures are done. Ayurvedic doctors and always claim that we are the ancient system of medicine. We are the Sushruta is the father of the medicine, like now surgery like that. They talk about that, but how, where we have to done like that. There's some studies are done, Tylophora and some medicinal plants having an anesthetic effect is there. So I remember that certain medicines, if you are oils and oils applied on the skin area, and is anodyne quality, and at the same time pain relieving qualities are there, and absorption, and also numb the body parts. So these type of medications has to be developed and spontaneously able to give locally or systemically giving an anesthetic effect on the drugs. So analgesic effect also we needed like that. A lot of people, morphine, this type of things developed. So we need to work on that, how to develop isolate the plants and identify them and properly to work on that. Sublingual medications. There's a plenty of medications can be given sublingually, like for example, nitroglycerides, which is the modern medicine they give. But whereas Ayurvedically, what type of medication? For example, Terminalia Arjuna. It's a very cardio good tonic. And if we are able to isolate active ingredients of those things and give to the patients with severe angina conditions, if we are able to show the results, 70%, 60% results are there. That's a great improvement like that. Where we have sublingual medication, buccal medications are not there. So rectal administration, there are plenty of Ayurvedic medicines which are given through the rectally, and with the administration of oils, decoctions, enema therapies and everything, where this absorption is not happening. So there's studies are done. It's a faster way to go and administer through these things, and rich source of the blood supply in the easily in the rectally, and the temperature is higher, and drug absorption is easier, and giving, and sometimes we are not able to through the gut GI tract. You don't need to go to all the medication through the gut, but if you are able to give the medication through the rectally and it having a faster absorption, more efficacy is there. We need to work on the drug administration of the medicine through the rectally also. Vaginal route, there is a lot of creams and jellies and suppositories and drink forms and everything is there. Where is our Ayurvedic drugs? We need to work on that Indian systems of medicine. Develop. I'm not talking about only Ayurveda. We have Siddha medicine is there, Tibetan medicine is there, and Unani system of medicines are there. Bring them together, and make them challenge, take into the consideration like that. Work with the pharmaceutical departments, pharmacy departments, and drug researchers, and everything working together. A team of the people who are working there, isolating the plants and working on that, and identifying things and making the drug development and absorption to the system like that. Very, very important. Ocular. There's a lot of drugs are there nowadays. Of course, you can see some Ayurvedic formulations are there, modernized formulations like an eye tone, and there are some eye drops are there. And of course, in the ancient traditional medicine, they are giving also anjanas and collyriums, and in Kerala and other parts of the world, they give eye drops, particularly for the people who are having conjunctivitis and also glaucoma conditions and cataract conditions, with pterygium conditions, eye disorders like that. Those conditions also we give some medications like that, where our ophthalmic department has to grow into that direction, how its efficacy is there, how it is going to the system like that. This has to be developed like that more. Otic Route. So there are certain types of herbal oils are there, like Hingu Triguna Thailam and Karnabindu Thailam. There are thylams are there, oils are there, but how it is absorbed in the system and what conditions we can give. Is a perforated and the tube is the tympanic membrane is there. In that conditions, can we give? Or what are the conditions are there? Tinnitus. There is a simple common problem is the tinnitus condition, where we can do Meniere's diseases, various diseases, ear disorders, how type of medicine, how the Ayurvedic antibiotics, herbal antibiotics can be created, how efficaciously you can show that, how the efficacy is shown up like that. Emergency medicine has to be developed. So this is the thing we need to work on that. And nasal administration, as I explained to you earlier, inhalation route, the aerosol sprays has to be developed, nebulization techniques, cutaneous route, skin, viral, bacterial, fungal, and itching and dry skin and various conditions, psoriasis, eczema, and there are so many obstinate skin diseases conditions like that. There are wonderful Ayurvedic medicines can be used. For example, there is a study was done on the Wrightia tinctoria, and which has very efficacious in the psoriasis. But the more larger number of studies are required, more clinical studies are required, then pigmentation levels, and for example, leukoderma, vitiligo conditions, how the melanocytes can be improved in the skin level. That medication there are Soraria coryllifolia, which is an bakuchi, and this is the plant very good for the improving the melanocytes. So let us do more research on that. More clinical studies are done, more animal studies are done, then we can show the efficacy of the drug. Transdermal, which I explained to you, there are certain medications can be prepared and absorbed through the skin, and that can be very effective in these things. Now, look into that. Modern scientific research on the herbs. So, modern research. The research on the medicinal plants, Indian medicinal plants, there's publications are the Indian Council of Medical Research, ICMR, New Delhi, has published. There are scientific books are published on the books, volumes of books are there. There's scientific studies are done with the pharmacy, pharmacology, and botanists who are able to identify them, and pharmacological studies are done, and collection of the various research studies are done. I have collected some of the resources from there, and we are able to identify the various medicinal plants, how the targeted drug way we can work on that, how to effectively we can show the results like that. So now let us know antispasmodics. There is a plenty of antispasmodics are there, and calamus root, which is Acorus calamus, Buccal moneriae, and Centella asiatica, Curcuma longa, Phyllanthus neruri, Pumbagogia elanica, and cramp bark, which is Vibrinum opulus, and black haw, which is commonly used in America, and chamomile. These are the plants. Gingiber officinale has and passion flower. This is also cleverly used in the antispasmodic effect is there, and peppermint and hops and anti-emetic herbs are there. In motion sickness and pregnancy, herbs are there, which is scientifically proven, but we are not able to bring it out. And we are not showing the more larger number of cases we are not able to show. This is the thing, is the biggest flaw is going on in Indian system of medicine. Ginger and the Cyprus rotundus, and as I mentioned, chamomile, cayenne pepper having an anti-emetic action is there, cayenne, and cloves, Syzygium aromaticum, anthum graveolens, and Pheniculum vulgare, and Gentiana lutea, and Gingiber officinale, and lavender and peppermint, white horehound. These are the various herbs which are having a traditionally used in various parts of the world, and also not only in India, every country, South Africa, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, and Hong Kong, all the areas, countries, their folk medicines are there, identified plants, flora is there that they are using. We need to identify the plants and work on that. Next, anti-diarrheal and dysentery conditions, Bilva, Eagle marmelos, and Andrographis paniculata, Holarina antidysenterica, and Piper longum, and Plantago ovata. These are the plants are having very efficaciously scientifically proven, and we need to come out in the market. And laxatives and Plantago ovata, Isabgol, and Terminalia tubula, and Ricinus communis, castor oil is folklore medicines also they used, but now we need to see the strong purgative effect on these things, castor oil. And anti-ulcer qualities of calamus root, Acorus calamus root, and as well as Eagle marmelos, Asparagus racemosus, and Azaracta indica, Curcuma longa, and Cyprus rotundus, Centella asiatica, and Glyceridia glabra, Ocimum sanctum, and Terminalia bellarica, Tinospora cardifolia, Withania somnifera, Gingiber officinale. These are the anti-ulcer. And we are always looking for the gelusil tablet or something tablet we are taking instead of that. See how the Ayurvedic medicines, the herbal medicines are very palatable, easily absorbable, and take a tablet and put in the mouth, and how the acidity levels are going down. That is the thing we need to look into, that how the gastric enzymatic level, how it is acting on these things. There's a lot of studies are done. We have to work on that. Anti-obesity, Comifera mucul, Cyprus rotundus, and Terminalia bellarica having a very efficaciously how they are acting on the appetite level, how they are acting on the adipose tissue, fat tissue level. And these are the things which are very important. There are some simple things like the Brahmi, Bacopa moneria, which is having a very good effect to the people who are having craving for the carbohydrates and sweets. We have given very good results on the patients who are having psychological conditions are there. We are able to control that level, and we are able to reduce the weight management. Then Hepato Protectants. This is the very common thing that a lot of medications, Western medications like the allopathic medications having a hepatotoxicity is there. That is the reason a lot of medications are not advised to give in the long-term dose like that. That is the reason there's a lot of medications can create this problem. We have to how to counteract these things. Cirrhosis and hepatitis condition, Andrographis paniculata, Azaracta indica. Curcuma longa, Eclipta alba, and Glyceridia glabra, and Gymnema sylvestris, and Phyllanthus emblica, and Phyllanthus neruri having a very strong effect in there in jaundice conditions, various conditions like that, and hepatitis conditions, cirrhosis of the liver. Now, alcoholism is very common in India, and not only in India, worldwide, people who are drinking alcohol, a lot of alcohol, and which lead to non-alcoholic cirrhosis of the liver conditions, and alcoholic conditions of the viral conditions. We can work on that. And the plants are Picorrhea curro, and Piper longum, Ricinus communis, and Rubia cardifolia, and Terminalia arjuna, Terminalia bellarica, and Tinospora cardifolia, Withania somnifera, Gingiber officinale having a very strong efficacy of the hepatoprotective qualities are there. And cardiovascular system, cardiotonics are the cardioprotectives are the terminally Arjuna, terminally Achubula, and terminally Tribulus terrestris having a very efficacy. Why can't we come up with some creative ideas about coming up with the cardiotonics? And a lot of people are having a cardiac arrest, is sudden deaths are happening now, stress management, and one antihypertensives. So allium sativum and andrographis paniculata, Azardacta indica, Cyprus rotundus, Eclipta alba, and multi-drug drug therapy can be given. It's not necessary that only single herbs are there. These are the classically, scientifically proven by the Indian Medical Council. ICMR has published these journals. In the journal, it is already proven. We need to combine together and re-establish the structure and everything. And clinical study has to be done. Animal studies and double-blind studies and various studies can be done, and placebo studies. So then we can see the results of the medications. Phyllanthus neruri, terminalia bellarica. Diuretics, Gymnema sylvestris and Phyllanthus neruri and Ricinus communis and Tribulus terrestris. Anticoagulant effect and fibrinolytic activity, Comifera mucul and Plumbago xylanica plants are there, and anti-atherosclerotic drugs are there. Wonderful drugs are there because atherosclerosis in the hyperlipid profile conditions and cholesterol levels are there, and how to improve the HDL levels and LDL levels can be reduced. Allium sativum, andrographis paniculata, Azardacta indica, Boswellia, serrata, Comifera mucul, Curcuma longa, Gymnema sylvestre, Ocimum sanctum. This is the wonderful preparations are there. We are successfully giving the patients, and we are able to get the very good results with this aqueous extracts of the various plants. And Amalaki, Phyllanthus umbilica, Piper longum, Plumbago ovata, and Terminalia Arjuna, Terminalia bellarica, Trigonella foinum, Gratium, and Gingiber officinale. These are the various herbs can be used for the purpose of for the atherosclerotic conditions. Now respiratory anti-asthmatics and broncholytics and antitussives. This is all the upper respiratory tract infections, particularly Adhata vasica and Bacopa monnieri and Boswellia serrata and Curcuma longa and Ocimum sanctum and Picorrhea curro, Piper longum, Asparagus racemosus having a very efficaciously effective in the showing of the bronchodilating effect. It is proven. We need to work on that clinical studies and everything like that. Then central nervous system analgesics are there. Acorus calamus, Azardacta indica, and Bacopa monnieri, and Boswellia serrata, and Eclipta alba, and Mucuna pruriens, and Ocimum sanctum, and Phyllanthus neruri, and Ricinus communis. These are the plants having a very safe, effective, and maybe synergetic effect. We need to bring the synergetic effect to the drugs and everything. Then it can work very effectively in these things. Antipyretics. There's a plenty of. There is a special chapter is given Jwara Chikitsa. Jwara Chikitsa means fever. Antipyretics. But still, our Ayurvedic practitioners, Ayurvedic drugs, Ayurvedic people, they are doing based on the paracetamol or something and dole or something medication they are taking. Why can't we come up with some good antipyretic drugs? There's a plenty of drugs are there, and Ayurvedic herbal drugs are there. Now anti-inflammatory drugs, arthritic conditions. The number of people, is a crippling disease. Number of people are suffering with chronic arthritic and rheumatism conditions like that. So andrographis paniculata, Azardacta indica, Boswellia serrata, Curcuma longa, Cyprus rotundus, Mucuna pruriens, and Phyllanthus umbilica and Gingiber officinale having a very effective and powerful way of resolving the issues and changes clinically. We can show some results. And muscle relaxants. And Gymnema, arnica oil, turmeric, and Epsom salt, CBD oils, and cannabinoid oil. Now in America, CBD oils are very popular, muscle relaxation purpose and everything. It's the legalized various countries in Canada and other parts of the world, and they can use legally as a CBD oil as a medicinal usage and medical marijuana like that. They can use capsaicin is having a very good results in the South Africa, South America, various parts of the world. They use capsicum. And of course, Guntur is famous for the getting of red chilies, very famous for that. And there you can get a very good capsaicin, which is having a very good effect too in the conditions of the circulation, local circulation, and it will be a powerful way of giving these things. Peppermint oils and anti-convulsants, anti-epileptics. Also, particularly apasmara, particularly it is good. Acorus calamus and piper nigrum and the Ricinus communis having a very efficacious results are there. Memory enhancers, Bacopa ashwagandha, Withania somnifera, which is a very powerful, and I have seen in my practice, clinical practice also, I have seen the Brahmi and ashwagandha very powerful way to enhance the cognitive functions and the ADD, ADHD conditions also. It's very effective. And anti-Parkinsonism, Capricorchu, Mucuna pruriens, which is having cogweed, and this is a very powerful plant, and which is having a dopamine levels. It increases, and also it develops the convulsions and reduces the convulsions and everything. It's a very effective and anxiolytic. A lot of people in the worldwide, we are having anxiety, particularly in the COVID condition. Majority people are suffering with not with the disease, they are dying with anxiety levels. So why can't we come up with some good anxiolytic formulation like that? Azaracta indica, Bacopa monnieri, and gingiber officinal. This combination, which you can give given very effectively, it can show and more reduction in the anxiety levels. Then people can be survived more. Anti-stressors like Asimum sanctum, Tinospora, Cardifolia, Withania somnifera having marvelous results on the drugs. Adaptogens, we need always adaptogens are required, and majority of the plant-based plants are adaptogenic in nature. None of the Western medical pharmaceutical medications like that may be not adaptogenic, but this is the thing, natural adaptogens such as asparagus, racemosus, Withania somnifera, and Mucuna pruriens and Withania and Gokshura, Tribulus terrestris. These are the male aphrodisiacs. And CNS stimulants, CNS depressants, we have CNS stimulants, Mucuna pruriens and Ricinus communis. CNS depressants, particularly Azaracta indica, neem, which is commonly available in India, and it can be used very effectively in these conditions like that. Somebody is going to come in the line. So, where is that? Anti-diabetics. Now, the Asian community, particularly in India, in the southern belt of India and South India, is more and more people are suffering with the anti-diabetic condition. Why? The diet is changed, stress is changed, our economic status has changed. What is the reason for the diabetic condition more and more increasing? Hypoglycemic effect. There is plenty of anti-hypertensive diabetic medications are there. Eagle marmelos, bilva, and Andrographis paniculata, Azaracta indica, Curcuma longa, Gymnema sylvestris, and as well as Hollerina antidysenterica. These are the plants can be Capicachu, Mucuna pruriens, and Asimum sanctum, and Phyllanthus emblica, Phyllanthus neruri, Plumbago delanica, and Plantago ovata, and Ricinus communis, Tinospora cardifolia, and Gingiber officinal. There are the plenty of medicinal plants which are having an anti-diabetic screen drugs are there. Same drugs are there. We need to do more research. Targeted oriented drugs are there. We can work on that, and pharmaceutical industries can work with that. And definitely Ayush department has to work closely with the pharmaceutical department. Then the drug research can be done very successfully. Malignant diseases, anti-cancer drugs, and people who are having radiation, chemotherapy, so many problems are there. And cancer side, the chemotherapy side effects are there. We are seeing a lot of patients who are having some cancer conditions, and those kind of side effects of the medications are there. And that is the reason what we needed to do. Anti-cancer, cytotoxicity, and supportive medicines like Allium sativum, and Azaracta indica, Asparagus, Racemosus, and Boswellia serrata, Emblica ripes, and Glyceridia glabra, and Asimum sanctum, having a very effective in the cytotoxic levels are there. Amalaki Phyllanthus emblica, which has shown very effective. Amalaki Vayasthapanana means that means longevity of life. Cellular longevity enhances, then you will become age-old. Energy is there. Piper nigrum, Plumbago xylanica, Rubia, Cardifolia, Terminalia, Arjuna plants are there. Tinospora, Cardifolia, Withania somnifera. Chemo prevention. Immunomodulators. There's a lot of immunomodulation is required for that, because we are all toxic. In the toxic level, we need to have immunomodulator like an Eagle marmelos, Allium sativum, and Andrographis paniculata, Asparagus indica, Boswellia serrata, and Centella asiatica. And there are plenty of medicinal plants are the curcuma, langa, hollerin, anti-dysenteric, asimum, sanctum, philanthus, emblica, picorrhiza, curru, piper, longum, and antioxidants, which are free radical scavengers. These are the very common conditions, like the people who are suffering with these problems with the cancers and those conditions. These are the things which we can give very successfully. And bilva, eagle marmelos, rasona, allium sativum, bacopa muniri, and comifera mucul, curcuma langa, glyceridia glabra, and gymnema sylvestris having a very efficacious antioxidant qualities are there. Of course, tulsi, which is a very commonly especially used holy basil, which is an Osimum sanctum, and Philanthus embolica and Philanthus neruri, Piper nigrum, Piper plumbago xylanica, and Ricinus communis, and Rubia cardifolia, and Terminalia tubula, Terminalia arjuna, and Terminalia Tinospora cardifolia, Withania somnifera, Gingiber officinal, having a very effective this thing. This is the, I am not talking about my own words. I am talking the scientific data published from the ICMR. ICMR has already published the books and everything. There's a plenty of research is done. We don't need to do research, further research. Already documentation is there. That research has to be taken to the forward. Anti-mutagenic effect in curcuma langa and Terminalia tubula is there. Infectious conditions. Now people antibacterial. So unnecessary using of antibiotics, antibacterials and everything. So there is a plenty of natural antibiotics are there. Acorus calamus, Adathoda vasica, and Allium sativum, Asparagus rasmosus, and Cyprus rotundus, Hollerin, antidysenterica, Piper longum, Ricinus communis, Terminalia arjuna, Terminalia tubula, and Gingiber officinal. These are the things. Antibiotic resistant modifiers, Chitraca plumbago xylanica has shown very good results. Anti-caries, anti-plague condition, Emblica ripes, and Gymnema sylvestris. Antifungal, there is a plenty of antifungal. Now people who are having suffering with a lot of issues with the fungal nail conditions like that, there's a lot of medications are there, but there's a lot of side effects are there. More and more medications having drugs, modern drugs having a lot of side effects are there. That is when people are scared to do it. That's the reason we need to come up with some safe, as much as safe and effective medications. We have to come up with Allium sativum, Azardacta indica, Gosselia, Serrata, Embolica ripes, and Ricinus community, anti-tubercular. So in Mangalgiri, if you look into that, in Vijayawada, there is a lot of sanatoriums are there. Those are the things where they can give anti-tubercular drugs like Adathoda vasica and Centella asiatica, antivirals. Now we are all suffering with the COVID conditions. Where is our antiviral drugs? Allium sativum, Andrographis paniculata, Azardacta indica, Centella asiatica, Curcuma langa, Glyceridia glabra, Gymnema sylvestris, and Philanthus emblica, Philanthus neruri, Terminalia arjuna, Terminalia tubula, Withania somnifera, Gingiber officinal. These are the proven, scientifically proven antiviral drugs. And antiprotozoals. And particularly there is the Leishmania and malaria condition. Andrographis paniculata has shown very good results. Asparagus racemosus, Azardacta indica, malaria condition, Cyprus rotundus malaria, and Hollerin antidysenterica, Philanthus neruri, Ricinus communis, and Terminalia arjuna, Terminalia tubula, and Gingiber officinal having a very good insecticides. Adathoda vasica, Azardacta indica, Osimum sanctum, Ricinus communis, insect repellent also. There are plenty of repellents are there, and how to protect them. Gingiber officinal having a very powerful way of removing of the insects. And anti-helminthics particularly, it is good for the Allium sativum. Allium sativum, Andrographis paniculata, Embolica ripes, and Ricinus communis, and Gingiber officinal. Reproductive system. There's a fertility condition. A lot of conditions are there. We have seen that the people who are having a very good effective way, we can show that infertility conditions, we have a very good helps are there, such as Adathoda vasica, Azardacta indica, Embolica ripes, and plumbago xylanica, Ricinus communis, and Terminalia arjuna, and estrogenic effect is there, and Curcuma langa, and Cyprus rotundus, and Ricinus communis having a very good effect. Galactococcus, if you look into that, Asparagus and Ricinus communis having a very good effective galactococcus qualities are there, and spermatogenesis qualities, particularly Allium sativum and Mucina pruriens having a powerful way of enhancing the sperm count. urinary system, urolytics, and kidney and bladder stones. Gokshura, tribulus tertius has a proven drug for lithotripsy conditions like that, urolithiasis conditions like that. And allergies, a lot of people having allergic problems, anti-allergic, curcuma longa and tinospora cardifolia is a powerful, effective anti-allergic conditions, anti-anaphylactic, Terminalia tubula and also Terminalia tubula. That's the thing. Injuries, particularly wound healing promoters are there. There's a wonderful way of Adotata vasica, centella asiatica, curcuma longa, boswellia serrata, comifera mucul, having a very powerful way to enhance the wound healing qualities are there. Thank you very much. Now we can open for questions and answers.
Thank you, Dr. Shekhar, for giving an elaborative lecture on importance of both the traditional medicine as well as the modern medicine. Now I would like to invite Mr. S. Ramu, Assistant Professor, Department of Pharmacy, Vigyan Foundation for Science, Technology, Research, Guntur, to hand over the questions and answer section from the participants. And if any participants are there, I request Ramu Garu to please take over the charge. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, Dr. Shekhar Annavudla, sir, for enlightening us with precious knowledge. So some of the participants are giving the questions, sir. With your kind permission, can I ask the question, sir?
Please, please.
Yes, sir. Professor Sridevi, Madam, Sri Padmavati Mahila Vishwavidyalaya is asking about, what is your opinion on Anandaya medicine for treating COVID-19?
Yes. So Anandaya medicine, now I would like to tell you, Ayurveda is not a textual medicine. Ayurveda is, in the ancient time, before the textbooks came, Charaka Sushruta Vagbhata textbooks came, before that, the Guru Shishya Parampara, like that, this traditionally it is practiced. So from the generation to generation, it is passing through the knowledge. There's a validation is there in Anandaya medicine. I agree with that, because he is not using any miracle medicine or miracle drug or something like that. It is not invented new plant. He is not invented. He is using the simple herbs like the cinnamon, camphor, those type of things, which are known herbs. Yes, what is the thing happened? It may not be available in the textual references, and maybe if it is there, some other textbook which is not available in the market. And what we needed to do here, we need to have reevaluate the situation like that. We are able to, in the history, we are not able to get the vaccine in a shortest period of time in the medical history, in the worldwide. For example, in America, Moderna, Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, and AstraZeneca, and all the vaccines came with the shortest period of time. And this research was done by taking of the epidemic condition, the global epidemic condition. The crisis is there. That is the reason CDC, Center for Drug and Communicable, CDC has approved that as an emergency vaccine, for the only emergency purpose only, that it is not a proven completely. It is a clinical studies are done and some level of efficacy is there. That is the reason we are able to use this way. Similar way, the government of India has taken to the steps, Ayush Ministry particularly, all government of India also, entire Indian community, it has to be, whether it is the allopathic system of medicine or something, that is the Indian system of medicine. We need to think Anandaya medicine is the Indian system of medicine, which is growing in India, and identify the plants, and in a war basis, they have to do research on that and see the efficacy of these things, how effective it is there. And it can be done. It can be done within 3 months, within a month, we can do it. Some clinical studies, preliminary clinical studies done, then it can be proved without bringing the politics into the market, without doing any bias in the situation, without doing any dogma in the situation, then we can do it like that. I agree with that way that it has to be medicinal qualities are there. Maybe all people may not be effective. I mean, comorbid conditions are there. People who are having diabetes, cardiovascular conditions, and respiratory conditions, all people cannot be survived. but at least some level of the improvement is definitely there. Definitely government of India has to take into the consideration. I strongly urge the government of India has to take the strong footstep like that to work on that. Not necessary that until that medication has to be proven or something, that they can say that, okay, this is the way how it is effective, how it can be shown into the clinical data. Then it has to be documented properly. Either all ICMR, Ayush Ministry, and all the health departments has to work together. Local pharmacy colleges, pharmacy institutions, and everything. Identify the plant, isolate the plant, identify the plant, and how the drug action is happening. That has to be done. Thank you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So one more question from the Tejashwini from the Pullareddy College. Sir, can we mix the mixed herbs using for the isolation to develop the herbal intravenous formulation for curing the disease?
Yes, certainly.
Yes. If we develop, whether it is safe or it is having any toxic.
See here, safety and efficacy, drug reaction, drug interaction. None of the modern medicines are not safe.
Okay.
And people are dying with the medications interaction like that. That is called iatrogenic diseases are happening, drug interactions are happening. Every medicine is having side effects are there. Even the erythromycin or any ciprofloxacin, any medications you take it, there are side effects are there, medications. So that doesn't mean that we cannot try on that. We can give the pharmaceutical things like that. We can isolate the plants. We can give the guinea pigs. On the guinea pigs, animal studies can be done properly, and then approve it how the efficacy is there, and then it can be given in properly intravenously, muscularly like that. When we are able to give the medications with the other medications, allopathic medications, we are able to give intravenously. Why can't you give the herbal medicines can be intravenously? But it has to be stringently, clearly identified properly, and proper good manufacturing protocols has to be followed, and then studies has to be done. Definitely we can show that results like that, definitely.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So one more question from Amartya Venkateshwara, sir, from EFXT. Sir, is there any IV formulations are available for ASU treatment?
Yes, that is the focus is that is the thing. Once upon a time they tried giving of allium sativum, which is the garlic, in injectable form intramuscularly, and it has shown some efficacy there, but it is not done. More studies are done. Maybe 1 or 2 cases or 10 cases or 50 cases they are done, but the more studies are required, more research work has to be done, then only we are able to do it. That is the reason Ayush department has to closely work with the pharmacy colleges and pharmacists more, and the development of pharmaceutical medications has to be come, and more ultra modern studies has to be done, and at the same, like Western medicine how they are doing, allopathic system of medicine how they are doing, similar way Ayurvedic medicines have to be go through the process of rigorous scientific studies has to be done, then we can do it, certainly.
Okay, sir. One next question, sir. Prabhakar Garu. What is your opinion on using nutraceuticals are available in the market currently? Whether it is giving immunity rising, whether it is safe for the patients?
Nutraceuticals such as all the nutraceutical medications like that, for example, always we look into that. So always I tell my patients also like that, when you are using pharmaceuticals,
okay,
to the nutraceutical, changing to the nutraceutical, just you are changing the brand. Unless you change your lifestyle and you change your dietary plans and everything, it won't have any effect is there. Everything cannot be treated with the drugs. And we have to work on that, and nutraceuticals having side effects also. There's a lot of studies are done in British Medical Journal has published, there's a big article on that. Hypervitaminosis, people who are taking excessive consumption of vitamins can lead to various diseases, which is proven. So one should not take unnecessary vitamins and nutraceuticals without like a lollipop like that. They cannot take it tablets like that, and without having proper consistency and how the availability is there. And a lot of medications, nutraceutical medications, there's no stringent regulations are not there. Anybody can put it in a capsulation form. It's released into the market. There's no studies, proper studies are not done. We need to have more stringent studies are also done on the nutraceuticals.
Okay, sir, one more question, sir. Personally, I'm asking, mostly water-soluble drugs, the polar drugs are having the problem to cross the blood-brain barrier, sir. So
Yes.
whether that approaches are same for modern medicine in the case of Ayurvedic formulations?
Yes, water soluble and aqueous extract forms and alcohol soluble things. So we need to identify certain types of plants as a water soluble, certain types of plants are having an alcohol soluble. We are not able to identify the plants. That is the reason we need to identify the plants and medicines, having what medicines can go through the water solubility is there, what is the alcohol solubility is there, what the medicines are, and blood-brain barrier, how they will go into these things. Same stringent way like that, how the modern medicines are going through, Ayurvedic medicines also goes through that. But that is the reason we don't want to touch the traditional systems of medicine, traditional medicine, such as the classical. So we can classify into the Ayurveda into 3 groups, Indian systems of medicine. What we do, the traditional folk medicine, which is not documented any textbooks, that has like Anandaya medicine, can be put into the one category. There is a special license is to be given for that purpose. It cannot be into the mainstream. There is the classical textbooks which are mentioned, Charaka, Susada, Vagbhata, are the classical formulations are there, like Ananda Bhairavaras, Tribhuvan Kirtiras, Triphala tablets, Chavana Prasha. These all these things are classically proven drugs. So these can be as a separate category has to be done. Now, third category, modern Indian systems of medicine, modern Ayurveda, that can be more latest way to do it, how the intramuscular, intravenous, and all the ways we have to do it. Modern research has to be done. The 3 categories of systems has to be developed and research has to be done. Then we can able to successfully do it.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Welcome.
One more last question, sir. Which natural immunity booster you can suggest in this COVID condition? This question is given by the Prabhakar Reddy, sir, VIPS.
So first immunity system is booster is that don't worry, be happy. When you create that atmosphere, there is a lot of, when you are happy, there is a interleukin, enzymes in the body, enzymatic action is happening. When you are strongly, willpower is stronger. Nothing, that is the best immunity. First, don't worry, be happy. That is your mantra. Second, when you are worried, none of the immunomodulators, none of the medicine, Chyawanprash, how much you eat it, Amla, you can eat it, anything, or with zinc, or vitamin D, or anything you eat it, none of the medicines are not going to help you. Second thing is that a natural immunity purpose and good healthy way of eating, healthy living, healthy sleeping, and reduce intake of alcohol consumption and tobacco smoking and all the habits. If you reduce it, then you can see the immunity boosting is happening. So then people can take Amla is considered as the Amalaki Indian gooseberry is having some efficacy is there. Amalaki Vayastapananam, that means it enhances the longevity of life of the person. That means cellular longevity is happening. That means immunity boosting is happening. That is the one thing is can be taken. But I don't only recommend that one. Amla is taking that one. Then you are doing all the alcohol consumption, tobacco smoking, and not able to sleep well, timely, no exercise pattern, no positive thinking, nothing is happening. Then you are succumbed to get the COVID.
Thank you, sir, for your patiently answering for all the participant questions. So many, now the time is running out because of that reason. So some of the participants, you can mail your questions to sir email ID.
So there are some questions are there here.
Yes,
I can answer for these questions also. I have some time.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
are there any Ayurvedic proceedings for the coma or brain dead patients?
Yes, sir.
Interesting. So in the brain dead patient, as long as the patient who is brain dead completely, and if we are able to give, there's an ancient way of doing like that, fumigation therapy, dhuma therapy, which is through the nostrils, giving this thing and things like that, it can have some efficacy is there, it can start to work on that. So there is a possibility that we can work on that, but the drug administration to happen through through the nasal passages. And also some people can be given, some medications can be given through like Anandaya medicine, how he is giving for the eye drops. You can use some medication through the study has to be done on that eye drops, and some through the nasal passages. Some are the external application for the skin and can be efficacious. We don't do study. We don't work on that. If you don't work on that, we don't see the results. So that is the way, only way is that if you are doing research, some people will die, no worries. And because now how many animals we kill by giving the drugs and everything in the laboratories. Similar way, we have to work on that. We have to positively think about that. There is study was done. Eureka can happen. And any other questions here? Can you have references? What is the thing?
So people suffering with diabetes and hypertension have to take a medicine.
Diabetes and hypertension. Yes, what I mean to say that here, when the people having diabetes or hypertension, so first of all, hypertension, there are so many causes are there. It's not like one thing is a fixed problem like that, because dietary, lifestyle, stress management, and all the factors has to be taken into consideration. And cholesterol conditions also same thing with the dietary and everything factors are there. First of all, rule out the conditions and everything. And the patient has to take, look, here he is eating all the sweets, gulab jamun and everything he's eating. And at the same time, he's taking an anti-diabetic medication or injections, insulin, no use. He has to change his lifestyle, change the diet, exercise. Then you can show the results more and efficacy. That is the reason we are not able to cure the diabetic conditions, cholesterol conditions, hypertension conditions until we change the pattern. That is the reason it has to go through that process like that. Patient education is very, very important. Patient who is not educated, we should not treat the patient. That's simple, as simple it is. If the patient is needed, this is the things he has to follow, protocol has to be followed, then we can show the good results there. And then otherwise, this will be continuously lifetime we are giving. The pancreas is not dead. Pancreas is not insufficient to produce the insulin. There are some yoga postures can be given, then insulin can be produced again. There is the studies are showing like that. So yoga can be incorporated, breathing techniques can be incorporated, stress management can be incorporated, and so many factors can be taken into consideration. Then people will improve like that. Like one of the Saidji in India, when I came to India at that time, he was asking that he was eating laddus and everything. And Doctor Saab, आपके पास कुछ दवा है क्या diabetes के लिए? और लड्डू बंद कर दो और walking करो. He will not do it. That's the biggest problem is that he wanted to sit and in the chair morning 8 o'clock to evening 8 o'clock, 12 hours he's sitting there and sitting and eating and having big Buddha belly. And how can he reduce his diabetes? What medication is going to work for him? He has to move, he has to walk, and he has to change his diet. He has to take a mental attitude has to be changed. Then only it is going to work. None of the medicine is not going to work for him. Okay, so hepato protective formulation. There are plenty of, because Professor Ishwara, Professor Ishwarudu. Okay, so this is the lot of medicinal plants having hepato protective qualities are there. Definitely having very good conditions are there. We have to. So that is the thing. Is the biggest problem is that the pharmaceutical companies and nutraceutical companies, they have to, Ayurvedic formulation companies and everything, they have to work together and to come together, and a drug has to be released in the market properly. That is the reason we need to have 3 ways of working on these things. Licensing procedures has to be given, like the drug research, like that. Modern research is no flaw. A lot of people, Ayurvedic doctors, what they do, oh, every drug has to go through the mouth and everything, rasa, guna, virya, vipaka, prabhava, and all these things. It has to be done. This is not shastrokta medicine, not like that. What the heck they are talking? Unnecessary wasting of the time. Let them do it their own studies. Let the pharmaceutical guys can come, jump into that and see the research on these things. The animal studies are done properly and bring it out. So bring the herbal vaccines. Why can't we do it? efficacy, effective way, like work on that. You have a talent is there, you have education is there, you studied PhD level of studies are there. 15 years you are working on these things, professors and everything. Why can't we take the help of you and work with that and see the studies? And then only we can progress. The system of medicine has to grow forward. That is the way it works. We have to, narrow-mindedness has to be closed completely. We have to broad-minded way work with that. That is the way we will develop the system like that. I'm not saying that Ayurvedic medicines, what the Shastras and what they are saying, that let them practice in the villages, what they are giving, the prescriptions, antibiotics and asavams, aristams and kashayams they are giving. Let them give, no problem. There is a special license will be given for them. Those who are practicing like Ananda type of people, come on, identify them and give the license for them. That's fine, no problem. But the thing is that there is a new way of looking at modern medicine when we are explaining to the people like that, when the Western doctors and the globalization. If we are taking some medication like the Ayurvedic medicine, which has to globally acceptance has to come out. Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, every country has to be accepted. That is the only way we can do it like that. Then only the globalization of Ayurveda happens like that. Unless, like yoga, think about yoga. Yoga can be practiced anywhere. Yoga can be practiced in the moon because it's easy. Same way, Ayurvedic medicines can bring it to the higher levels like that. Research has to be done. Definitely, I strongly urge like that. They have to take your help. Your help is needed. Research has to be done properly and animal studies has to be done properly. Then work on that and definitely you will see the results.
Teja Balina, may Ayurvedic treatment can cure paralysis?
Paralysis again is then again the multifactorial conditions are there. We have seen in the hospitals, Ayurvedic hospitals and everything. So any disease, if it is any disease more than 1 year, it's called Purana. Purana means old disease. And if it is 10 years older disease, if the person is suffering with 10 years old, lot of times what they do, after 10 years, they try to come to the Ayurvedic hospital. Okay, all allopathic hospitals are rejected. No, we can't help you anything and take him home. Then only they will come to the Ayurvedic hospitals to work there. And already they have a situation is there and only psychologically he will see some improvement like that. Only 5%, 3%, 4% improvement is there. Nothing improvement is there because it's delayed. It's already 10 years old disease. There is no results in that condition. And whereas if you are early stages, with the intervention of the modern medicine and yoga and philosophy, diet and everything, we can work on that, we can cure it. I have seen the cases like that, a cardiologist who got a stroke and paralytic stroke. And we are able to successfully do it within 3 months. With the help of the modern medicine as well as Ayurvedic medicine, with all the therapies and yoga, philosophy and everything, we did it like that. We are able to bring him back to the normalcy. There's a possibility is there, but the thing is what they will do first, they try with allopathic medicine only, but they don't change their diet, lifestyle and stress management, nothing is done, then they will not get in the results. Clear?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, this note, I will hand over the section to Vishwanath, sir.
Great.
Thank you, Mr. Ramu Garu, for having a nice interaction with the speaker. So I now invite Dr. M. Srinivasamurthy Garu, Principal, Vignan Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Hyderabad, to propose the vote of thanks. Dr. Srinivasamurthy Garu, please.
Yeah. Very good evening, Dr. Shekhar Annambotlaga sir. On the behalf of Vignan Institute of Pharmaceutical Sciences, Hyderabad, Vignan Institute of Pharmaceutical Technology, Vizag, Vignan Pharmacy College, Hyderabad, Department of Pharmacy, Vignan University, I extend a very I express my very sincere thanks to Dr. Professor Dr. Shekara V. Annabotlu Garu for a wonderful webinar on research updates on herbal and traditional Indian medicine, future scope for drug target identification. Sir, thank you very much, sir, for sharing your research experience and knowledge among our students and faculty members. We are also thankful to you, sir, for igniting scientific temperament among our students and faculty members. And this webinar will go a very long way and definitely going to be very useful for our students and faculty who are carrying out their research in the area of natural products. And we express our sincere thanks to Dr. Lavu Rattaya sir, who is our beloved chairman sir, and Dr. Lavu Sri Krishna Devarailu sir, who is vice chairman. And we are very thankful for their everlasting encouragement, invaluable guidance, intellectual supervision, and providing all facilities. And we are also thankful to Dr. K. Ramurthy Naidu Garu, who is the Chancellor of Vignan University, Dr. M.Y.S. Prasad sir, Vice Chancellor, Dr. M.S. Raghunathan, Registrar of Vignan University. We are very thankful to them for their constant moral support and valuable sessions. And we are also grateful to the participants from different institutions as well as Vignan group of institutions. Thank you, participants, for participating in this webinar. Thank you for showing your interest in the webinars organized by our Vignan group of institutions. And then I express my sincere thanks to Dr. P. Srinivas Babu Garu, Dr. Y. Srinivas Rao Garu, Dr. Jitendra Garu for inculcating team spirit among the staff members and extending professional help among the Vignan group of pharmacy institutions. And then finally, I take my privilege to express vote of thanks to organizing committee members, especially Mr. A. Vishwanath Garu, Dr. Raghuveer Verma Garu, Dr. Kamala Kumari Garu, Dr. P. Saujanya Garu, Dr. Purna Garu, and Dr. Prabhakar Reddy sir. Thank you one and all. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Now over to Vishwanath sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Dr. Shekhar Annambotla Garu. I think you will be busy now. I think you can leave the meeting, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you one and all for giving an opportunity for me, and very thankful to.
My personal request is, if you can share the PPT, we can share it to the participants for information.
Certainly. I'll be happy to share my PowerPoint presentation to all of you, and I'm glad that you are all connected with us. And I'm thankful to all the Vignan pharmaceutical colleges and institutions, and also the chief patron Lavu Rattaya Garu, and all the deans and faculties and staff members and students. Thanking you all for giving the opportunity, and hope we will interact with each other in future. And hope we will protect you from the COVID and all the variances and everything. And definitely all has to take the vaccinations. It's very important. And at the same time, good routine. That's my earnest request is all of you that to promote it, everybody to vaccinate everybody. And at the same time, to give healthy way of eating and healthy way of living and everything that will protect you epidemic conditions of this COVID conditions. Not only COVID situation, now in future, so many variations and problems are coming to us, and only the best way is that to protect yourself, to proper diet, proper lifestyle, positive thinking. All these things will help protect you. Thank you very much, one and all. Namaste.
Thank you, Shekhar sir. From Vignan Pharmacy College, I'm the principal. So last time we met, sir. Thank you for your valuable time and accepting our Vishnath's invitation. And after a long time we have seen, sir. Again, we are hoping to meet after the COVID in Guntur, sir.
Yes,
So-
definitely, definitely. Even though I am so busy, today I have taken the opportunity like that. And today I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning and I came here to the office in the morning. Every day I'm waking up at 4 o'clock and
Wow.
7 days a week I work and 8 o'clock I go to bed. So that's my daily routine. We have doing treatments here in our clinic and everything, and I'm busy. And even during the COVID time also, we are very actively busy and working on that. And very successfully, we are doing all the patients who are undergoing these therapies and everything. Definitely, it's a strong willpower is required. You can do it. You can work on that. That's the thing is important. And keep a mask and protect yourself and proper diet and proper timely eating. Is all the things. And thank you, Srinivas Garu, and for giving the opportunity. And Vishwanath, who is my cousin and who helped me to bring this opportunity to teach you, all of you, and talk to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Informative session for all our faculty and the students, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much. And I have one small doubt, sir, whether this third wave is also risky there as per your prediction, sir, that I have.
Third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave, any waves we can do like that, upgrades like that. These are the updates of the things like that. Variations can happen like that. It can be not ending. The coronavirus is not ending. And it can be continued like that because like we are trying to eradicate the malaria. Is it possible? No. Same way, people are not going to die, but at least the post-efficacy is there. But the only thing is that our dietary plan, lifestyle plan has to be changed. I have seen that people are not changed. People are, even in pandemic condition, America also, people have not changed. World is not changed. World is not changing. Lessons, this lesson is not sufficient for the people. Still, people are following like the same protocols like that. People has to die. That is the only way. People who are properly maintaining their good, healthy and life positive thinking and everything, they can survive, they can sustain. People who are overly enthusiastic, people who are careless, definitely they are succumb to get this type of COVID problems, whether it's your father, mother, sister, brother, and friend, anybody is there. There's no caste. But COVID effect is there no caste, no religion, no bar for the country. This is the thing is happening. There's no way, one way is that it's the thing. There's so many people's theories are saying that, oh, it is coming from the bioterrorism or whatever the things they are talking about that. But whatever the things are there, you have to be strong and healthy, positive thinking. The only my advice is that positive thinking. That means maskless traveling, maskless doing like that, or protecting yourself, not taking vaccination, not properly taking that is not a protocol we have to follow. We have to follow the proper protocol, everything, and protect yourself and positive thinking. Then only you will get the results. Variations can come. These variations can be given third wave, fourth wave, fifth wave. We can talk about that. But these variations can be there. And it's dangerous also, not only in India, there are plenty of people from India traveling to US. Not only India, US, they are coming to the Australia and in the England, all the countries they are traveling and these things. It becomes like that. You have to protect our these things like that. We have to work on that. It's not like Indian variants. It is the variants, the variations are happening. It is mutagenic situation. Viruses having mutagenic qualities are there. Definitely they have variations are there. And it is not Indian variants like that. Definitely. Think about it. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, one and all.
Vishwanath, sir.